Hey everybody, welcome back to my stream. I have a kind of bug with my OBS. I think I need to upgrade it or like update it to the newest version. When I try to restart the stream, sometimes it takes 2 times. I get this weird message that my stream key needs to be updated. Anyways, it's a weird move, bishop g. A little bit of a weird move, bishop g4. But considering my king is on d1, not my queen, I take it back. However, we can break the pin quite easily. What would Nesmedinov do? Queen d3, knight f4, chop it and play like knight e2, I guess. Alright. I have to play it like this. Oh, but he has knight h4. I mean, if knight h4 is going to be a problem... No, it's not a problem. Well, that's fortunate. It is a problem. Or I have to calculate a bit here. Anyway, I think I like queen d3. Maybe I shouldn't. Well, I mean, it gives us some central threats, you know, against the enemy king here. Knight f4 is not really a problem. Anyway, guys, sorry for the stream collapse there, but occasionally the OBS does that to me. Don't really understand the ins and outs of why or why not I get drop frames. They just kind of come. There doesn't seem to be any kind of rhyme or reason to it, but we just got to keep an eye on it. But thank you, Lucky Kentucky, for letting me know quickly, because I could have been going on for a while there. We did not have a clue. Anyway, I think you guys heard most of what I said before. It wasn't like I was streaming without the microphone turned on like yesterday. I kind of started yesterday's stream in a hurry because I had a lesson right before the stream. And I didn't do all the proper checks to make sure everything was all set. And I was streaming for like 4 minutes with the microphone turned off. Do you know how late it is, Will Wolf? You're still streaming. Well, I'm in Europe. This was my intention here. He doesn't have g5, so I wasn't sure how he was going to protect this pawn on f4. I love the bishop pair, but you know, it's not the be-all and end-all. Yesterday my bishops were very important in chess 960 against Aldisto, but here he loses some control of the center with that central pawn leaving the vicinity. Opposite color bishops look slightly better for white, because this bishop is relatively dead, and so mine isn't exactly a prize. I have a little bit more space. We're going to take with the queen. We don't want to destroy our pawn continuity here. I have g3 with a structural breakdown. It looks like his white squares are falling apart, but I don't have time to analyze very deeply. But as I said, I think I see a lot of white square weaknesses in his position. And Grandma, what big white square weaknesses you have. Whereas I don't have the, like, you know, same problem. Here's a kind of tough spot now. Do I take with the f pawn to try to use the f file, or do I keep my pawns in one nice neat? Ooh, that's kind of difficult to call. I don't know which I like better here. Taking away from the center to give myself the pressure along the f file. It's a little anti-positional to break my pawns up. Well, Wolf, we had a good stream yesterday for my subscriber stream. I think one of my better streams in a while. I had some really good games. I felt like I was I was just in a good mood and able to concentrate really well yesterday, more so than usual. So that's not something I could say every time. You have to be inspired to play chess. It really helps. You know, you don't want to just go through the motions. So Will Wolf, thanks for watching. He played f6. Well, it's not like I have a winning position. I just stand better. We're both going to castle queenside, I suppose. Should I induce him to move the h-pawn? Well, I just want to stop him from castling for the moment. There's not a lot of time to play deep chess when you both have like a minute and 30 seconds left. But it is a 5-second increment, guys. That's a lot, really. I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot. Like when I was playing in Zalakaros in June, when was it, May? I freaked out against Kovalenko. I had like 30 seconds, and I'm sitting there with a good position, and 30 seconds. But Kovalenko had like an hour on the clock. And I just started to panic, you know. It's like, it's funny how like 30 seconds would seem like an eternity if you were playing like a 3-0 tournament here on lichess, you know. But here I am against like a 2650, and I'm freaking out with like 30 seconds per move. And last year in another game in the same tournament, I actually lost on time with the 30-second increment. Okay, it was a really, really, really tough position where I was in an ending where I had to like play perfect moves to survive, so that's kind of understandable. I did like a Karpov thing where I just like sat there and stared and like kind of jumped and freaked out and lost on time. And the position was probably like a draw. So 5-second increment, it seems like a lot, but okay, when you have to press the clock and stuff, it's a little different. Now, what's up with this pawn here? He's going to go knight g4, okay. Even that might not be a problem. He will get the castle, though. Oh, is this even good for me? Wait a minute. I can take on f6. He expected this move. He had actually like pre-moved it. Okay, there's a couple problems. Opposite colored bishops. His knight is marauding pretty actively. He has an annoying series of checks. So it's just, what's going on? Taking this. Okay, now I can play king d2. This may not be good enough, though. Okay. Channel the endgame powers of my teammate Zoltan Varga. He won a really nice game against Vigentsev the other day in the European Team Championship. Endgame. But Aldisto here, I wonder if it's best for me to just get on the 7th rank. Screw the material. Screw the material. I don't know if this is the right move, but probably not. Probably I should have taken the material. I can always take the material. My knight is a little messed up. It can go to f4 though. We ended up taking it anyway. Now what do we do? Knight f4. He's got some obvious counterplay. I'd really like to trade off a set of rooks here. Hey, he did it for me. Man, I can't ask for a nicer guy. I mean, still, this is not exactly an easy win. What am I supposed to do to make progress here? Just push the pawn. But seriously, I think he helped me by trading rooks there. Now he's like blundering. I guess it's a blunder. Kind of seems like it. Uh-oh. Alright, I guess we can win this king and pawn game. Not if I drop my pawn. He has to try to activate his rook, obviously. I mean, with this passed pawn, I feel like I should be winning. Let's see, rook h7, d5 check, king e7, g6. Yeah, I'm probably winning. I might even be able to sack the pawn with like a rook trade to get a winning king and pawn endgame. Yeah, this is what he has to do, but it's too late. Can check him away. And I guess just pushing the pawn should win. Not that easy, though. I'm going to need the support of my king. We're threatening rook g6. Therefore here, oh, am I gonna get stuck? Are you kidding me? Well, okay. you can go check and go sack the rook for it. Alright guys, what's up? Cup of tea chess. Black's giving away a lot of tempos. Yeah, I don't think we played the endgame that well. We or he. It probably didn't matter though. I mean, I think the big trade was the rook trade, which was a mistake. You know, he played okay until White was slightly better here. But in the endgame, we go back here to the minor piece endgame. I felt this was like Aldistos. You know, around here was his big moment of where he has to play perfectly to hold on. Rook h8 coming down active looks like your best shot, and you don't want to trade rooks in this position. You trade a set of rooks and you have no counterplay. Lucky Kentucky, Tamar, and Constant Change. Another strong player in Constant Change around 2200 lichess. So Lucky Kentucky, he's up to 2500. What am I playing here? What is it you play? The London system or something? D4, knight f6, bishop f4. Well, I guess I'll just do a Queen's Indian type of setup. That's kind of the most solid, I feel like. You can play c5. I've looked at this quite a bit. Once I had a guy do like bishop e2, bishop f3 against me. It was very strange. This old Russian, I am kind of a draw master. I never saw anyone try something like that before with the white pieces. A really old dude. One of these people who just like plays for a draw every game. Unless he's playing someone, you know, like much lower rated. Alright. I have a lot of draws, but I don't play for draws. I just agree to draws. If that sounds, I don't know. I'm a nice guy. If somebody offers me a draw, I usually take it. Unless they're like 100 points lower rated or something. Alright, c3. We can play c5 now. Is there anything wrong with that? It's kind of early to play c5. Sometimes people play like g6 and do a double fianchetto in this type of position. But white's early c3, I mean, oftentimes you'll get the people who transpose to Queen's Indian type of stuff with c4. It looks like he's going to play, you know, for e4, which is normal. Now I'm supposed to play c5, play maybe knight c6. I have to be careful, though, not to allow e4. If I play knight c6, I'm just trying to remember if I'm supposed to play knight c6 or not. It's a way to play, I guess. I mean, Adam's Karyakin is a game where Mickey played like, yeah, this plan of d5, but his bishop was on d6. You know, that's different. If the bishop is on d6, I can do like d5. You know, if the d5's already out there, I have bishop on d6. I can do like knight. How was it again? Knight e7 to f5. I'm just trying to remember, how did Adams do this? Was it like with the bishop on e7, or did he like play bishop d6 later? There was this game with Karyakin where Karyakin lost and he castled queenside with white, which is kind of, you know, obviously it's pretty maniacal. Silent Dead. Yeah, cup of tea chess. That's the idea, to play a hedgehog. I don't really want my knight on c6. Oh, this is a weird move by white. Not traditional to take with the pawn on c5. I don't know which way to recapture. Bishop takes is safer. It's like lower risk strategically. Now we have a hedgehog. Our knight's on c6. But Lucky Kentucky playing kind of weirdly. He's playing recklessly. I mean, maybe there's a justification to this. My knight is going to be subjected to going to a5 if I go there. So maybe... Speaking of hedgehogs, it's a kind of weird situation though with this pawn wedged on b5. I think I probably missed knight d5 here. Well, if he gives me his bishop on f4, it's not the end of the world for him. That he can afford to do. But I don't like this backward pawn along the c file. He's created quite the weakness for himself there. World Loser, what's up? You gotta work on your Slav theory. I think if World Loser, you know, he learned his openings a little more deeply, he could be really dangerous. But he doesn't. He's playing, you know, openings he doesn't know as well as like a international master. The Slav and the semi-Slav, I like those openings, World Loser. Yesterday he walked into a trap against me. Not a trap, but he grabbed the pawn that's poisoned. But World Loser, what's interesting is our game from yesterday. I looked it up, and I'm not supposed to take on b7. There was one game where that happened, actually. That's the move that they played in the game. But I was supposed to play like queen b3, and it's like devastating. So don't do that again. So I'm even more well prepared now. Lucky Kentucky's going to have to sacrifice a piece here. I think he's not awake yet. This is why you don't put your bishops on, you know, d3 in the Cully system and stuff like that. He couldn't avoid the fork. Now, objectively, he doesn't have enough. I kind of dismissed this, and probably we have to think about this now. I could play queen e8. There's going to be some tactical problems. He's got a little bit of counterplay, unfortunately. I do have knight e6 though. Okay, this should be good enough. This will block bishop f5 ideas, supporting the pawn down to c8. Now obviously I can sack the exchange, but I'm not sure it's even necessary here. Rook c8, c7. And we could just have two pieces for a rook, but that's two pieces for rook and pawn. You know, he might have some chances to hang on there. Rook c8, c7, queen takes queen, rook takes queen, knight e8. Ooh. It looks difficult to hold on to that pawn. The way my pieces are aligned here. Yeah. Queen b3 with a plan of bishop takes e6, right, World Loser? I looked at it, and like after queen b3, you have to do bishop f5, and then I have like rook on f to e1, and it's like catastrophic. So it's much stronger than what I did. What I did, somebody else did. It's a natural move, taking on b7, but it's not good. It's not the best. I had that much better. So if anybody else does that, I'll know what to do next time. But most people who play that line, I mean, they really memorize a lot of theory because it is really sharp. It's dangerous. It's a dangerous line. But you should check out the Lee Chow plan, you know, of Castle and Kingside, because it looks pretty solid. I didn't see this game where John Bartholomew lost. Now, this is what I was afraid of. Oh, I have queen e8. Well, it doesn't really matter, does it? He's going to play c7 no matter what I do. Does knight e4 have any real direct benefits? Knight e4. Yeah, the problem is getting the pawn, getting to the pawn somehow. I have queen a4, which is pretty disruptive. Well, I thought it was disruptive anyway. He's going to try to trap my queen or something. Queen on a3 is hard to trap. You can go here. It's going to be hard to trap my queen. Or maybe not. simply up a piece now. I don't want to fix his pawns for him, particularly. Obviously a good bullet player. His bullet rating is 2246. Trading even that. Wow. Gotta stop him. Wonder if I can play f5 at some point. It's not really gonna matter, I guess. He's gonna run out of moves here. At least he should run out of moves. Okay, well, it was probably winning. Timur, constant change, world loser, chess Armageddon. We lost world loser there. We'll take his challenge when he gets back. So yesterday was a really good stream. I thought that I had a really low centipon loss in most of my games, which is rare. Against Timur, I'm going to play c4. I've been playing mostly knight f3 and sometimes e4 or d4. Not a lot of c4 though. But I don't want to forget how to play the English opening. I kind of like mainline English. This will transpose, you know. Now I'm going to have to. You can't avoid. I mean, you know, you can't avoid transposing to the Queen's Gambit basically. The Neo-Catalan, as Yasser Seirawan might call it. That's funny that you played that move, Timur, because I was just looking at this. It's really odd that you played exactly that move, which I was analyzing. That's so strange. This exact position I studied yesterday with my opponent, one of my students. Okay, this is new. I haven't seen b6 before. We just saw c6 actually, so it was a slightly different position I analyzed where c6 was already played. Maybe b6 is better than c6. I mean, I guess we can just play it like a Tarash or something. This is certainly not the only way for white to play. Oh, this way. That's a tempo, for whatever it's worth. Then I've got like e4 next, which actually looks pretty strong. I mean, I expected pawn takes. You know, that seems... This bishop might be questionably placed with the push e4, e5. I'm threatening e4, winning a piece on the move here. I guess the question is, though, if I do that, how devastating is it? Like, if I play e4, he plays bishop e7, and then I have to defend my center, you know? I'm not sure how bad that is for you. Though black is really hurting for space there. e4, bishop e7. I can't play... I mean, queen e2 loses to... Queen e2 will lose to tricks, so I have to play e4, bishop e7, queen c2. Black has stuff like c5 coming, though it shouldn't be a problem. I guess this is objectively the correct move. Okay, I could play rook e1. But that might not work because of knight takes e4, knight takes e4. No, yeah, it works. I mean, rook e1 though. It feels more passive than queen c2 somehow. So he had to lose a kind of important tempo here, retreating his bishop back to e7. And you guys can hear the Hungarian ambulances firsthand. Okay, now the plan is rook d1. I don't know which rook. It doesn't really matter, I guess. He's got a trick here with knight takes e4. Not really. Right, we're good. Bishop f4, just keeping the pieces on the board rather than trading and letting him free his game. Seems like a good idea. However, let's see, what does he have? Like bishop to b4? I mean, trading doesn't seem like a good idea. I could even go back to c1. When you have more space like this, I mean, you have to keep the pieces on the board. Keep the pizzas on the board. What's up, people? Good morning. Playing Blitz and Classical Chess against viewers. It's Friday. It's the 13th. It's time for killers with hockey masks and stuff like that. It's October, too. You know, the month of Halloween. I mean, I'm just going to go rook e1 and centralize everything. Black is very compacted. He can't play c5 without allowing this like crushing passer down the middle. It's very awkward. You know, no exchanges. Yeah, this I was thinking about the move before. It almost looks like I'm forced to play knight e5, which is probably a normal move anyway in this Catalan. I mean, I could play knight d2, I guess. That's kind of weird, though. He went out tonight and walked around. No people walking around with hockey masks on. It's okay, it's like it doesn't, I don't know, does it count like if it's 4 a.m. or does it count if it's like, when does the Friday the 13th technically start? Is it like in the early hours of the 13th, or Knight to D5 sent me a game request. Thanks, Knight to D5. Yeah, I've got to play World Loser first. He's a subscriber. Anybody who's a subscriber is welcome to play the first games. So here I have Queen A4. I thought, you know, just piling up on the file. This might even win material. It might not win anything. Other than Queen A4, does anyone have a good suggestion? Whoa, it's picked up my rook. Okay, now the moment of truth is, do I have rook takes D7? I mean, there he could even play queen takes rook and bishop takes E1. So if I play B takes A, this is pretty awkward actually. Okay, rook takes D7 doesn't work, so I have to take here, and now he has a kind of blockade going on. Oh, I expected knight C5. Wow. I think knight C5 might be better, dude. You know, taking this pawn looks kind of materialistic. Why not knight C5 there? I wonder. You can still play it later on. But now my position is much more cohesive. I've got the D6 rook outpost and some space advantage. My pawns are not that easy to attack. Timur very fast. The stream buffering? Oh no, not again. No. Just refresh the stream if you have any problems. We don't have drop frames now. Sometimes Twitch just does weird stuff. You just need to refresh it. Nefidov, what's up? Bishop B7? You thought Bishop B7 was silly? What was he doing? What? When did he play Bishop B7? That was like 100 moves ago, no? Okay, Nefidov, I didn't understand your comment, like which point you were talking about. But it's in the past now. So we play the straightforward rook D6 stuff. Rook D6, F6. Pulverize him. Knight F6. I shouldn't give him good ideas. He could play knight F6, and I might have to play bishop F3 or H3 or something on that. Maybe I'm just being fancy here. You know, you could just play like rook D2 and double that way. So we have a significant positional advantage, but I'm not sure that we can win the game with this like single concept of the open file. It's probably, you know, a typical situation where we really need like a secondary weakness of some kind. Now knight F6. Knight F6, queen D4 may be crushing here, actually. Ouch. That is devastating. Knight F6, queen D4. Hasta la vista, baby. Knight Man, that hurts. Actually, last move it didn't work, but he could have played knight f6 last move. And then the plan is to play knight e8 and try to get my rook out of his face. Okay, he could play something here like knight c5, probably. But it's not a really pleasant endgame for him. He's got that bishop on a8. Mine on g2 is not great, but it's still better than a bishop on a8. Now he played knight f8, so it's, you know, it's not bad for him structurally. He can still play and free himself. I probably need to play f5, and that's my secondary concept. Still, this is not so simple. He's staying alive. He's seriously staying alive here. I think I'm going to need to do like a regrouping with my queen. I can't stop c5. This will help him, you know, to free his bishop. Anyway, we're going to run out of time soon, so might as well. It doesn't really matter what I do, you know, to be honest. I might as well just go here. Here, have a tempo. Oh, he did that. I did not expect that. Interesting. Why did I play c4? I don't know. I had this idea, this strange idea about this position. To kind of keep the e5 pawn protected. Now f5. Maybe I'm rushing it. Look how compact he is here, though. Yeah, black has a lot of counterplay now. Damn, dude, he defended this really well. Can I take with the queen? Maybe I must. He's got a really nice blockade, though. You can't really ask for a better blockade than that. Though his knight is messed up a little bit. It's coming to a theater near me. Man. He seriously defended this really well. I even feel a little overextended. Not sure if he could have played rook e5 last move. Rook. Rook e5. But good defense by black. He's got the blockade. Should be okay, probably. Even if I took on f6, it's not like devastating. Not necessarily completely devastating. I guess he doesn't really want me to, but knight e4. Knight e4, what happens there? Knight e4, queen g4, f6. Then it's going to get a little bit complicated. Can he allow bishop takes f6, maybe? He did play knight e4, okay. Thought you'd see it your way. Now rook e1. Knight takes d6, duh. Well, okay, I don't really know what's going on here. I mean, what's actually happening? I feel like this is bad, to be tied down to defending. Okay, it's just about tactics here. If queen a4, queen c1. I'm threatening d7. I don't know if he should take that pawn or not. He goes with this nasty move. Man. I have a bad feeling about this. He's playing a great game. Looks like I'm too open. My king is too open here. We lost on time, probably a winning position for black. I think my last move is a blunder, is like a really big blunder. So, I don't know what I should do though. Can I play queen e7? Ow. Queen e7 instead, queen takes f5. I think he was winning before. I mean, this had to be winning. So, queen e6 is what? It's okay? Wow, I thought I would be worse there. Okay, I have a strong pass pawn if he takes on e6. But he was winning. He was like winning before. I mean, virtually winning. Knight e4. I was surprised he didn't have a direct win. Apparently he didn't have a direct win. I mean, he was really close to winning. Damn, I thought I was dead. This is amazing. I mean, I found this move, queen g4. I was going to play queen f1. I guess that's okay. Queen f1 may be better. Yeah, I mean, I was right on the precipice of losing here. So, good game. Good game. Final position is probably a draw when he lost on time, it looks like. Well, equal anyway. Yeah, I forgot when I play queen e6, I've still, you know, he takes and I still have a strong pass pawn on. I thought that, I don't know, I thought the rook ending would be bad after queen e6. Queen takes e6, pawn takes e6, knight takes d6, rook takes d6, rook takes b2, but I have rook check and e7 and I'm winning there, so it's actually pretty technically difficult for black to find a forced win. Anyway, good game. Anybody else who's a subscriber? We've got Chess Armageddon, are you a subscriber? World Loser dropped his challenge. World Loser, did you intentionally drop your challenge? Are you busy there, building a wall or something? Alright, we're going to play Constant Change. Oh, there's World Loser. Okay, we'll play Constant Change next. He'll be the first guest. Sorry, I thought you were building a house or something. I know you've got some construction projects. Alright. World Loser, also our backup and now frequent moderator. You know, if anybody else wants to volunteer to be a moderator who's here all the time, I'm sure that wasn't the goal of World Loser's life to have to put up with the trolls in my chess stream, but I appreciate his help. So be kind to him because he didn't, you know, he didn't ask for this job. I just forced it on him. d4, knight f6. I'm going to play e6. I have a new video series. I'm working on a secret opening for black. Video series on this site for the chess world. That's going to come out in a couple months. We'll have to contact Aldisto. Aldisto's not here, is he? Aldisto was here. So the Blumenfeld. If anybody has any interesting suggestions about the Blumenfeld, let me know. Hey, back to chess. What's up, man? It's worth the content. Awesome. Back to chess subscribed. Oh, he cheered 100 too. Nobody's broken the cam. Thank you, back to chess. Camel Culture with the 200 cheer. Knight c3. Yeah, I've seen this once or twice. It's pretty weird. I think I'm supposed to play b4. Okay, World Loser, good. I think you're supposed to play knight a4 there, dude. A little information is dangerous. World Loser likes to play sharp lines, but then he just goes his own way. I recall knight a4 being like the best move according to the engine, and there was like a game or something. You know, now it's not unreasonable to play knight b1 though. You know, he does get a good square at c4 for his knight. It just seems like maybe he can't support the d5 pawn. So bishop b5, e4, chop chop. You know, he's going to have to sack a pawn. I mean, it's often common to sack a pawn. No, you do not have to pay to watch. It's more like a donation. Yes. Do you have to pay the money? No, it's like a donation. I mean, anytime you support someone who's a streamer on Twitch, you know, you're basically you're supporting them in their efforts. You don't have to donate. I mean, you don't have to subscribe. Or loser with queen c2 now. I am picking off the central pawn. And, you know, he has... Does he have compensation? I guess he does. There is a question here about this pawn. We have a number of options, though. I mean, d6 first off. It looks a little slow. Bishop e7, bishop takes f6, bishop takes f6, queen takes c5. Bishop takes b2 with guaranteed win of rook. And then queen takes d5, knight c6. It's kind of a funny position, like, I'm going to take your rook, I swear. It's a pretty long time control, 8+3. Sometimes World Loser, does he challenge me to 5+3? So bishop e7, take, take, take. Oh, I can just take on f3 there, ouch. Then he takes back with the e-pawn, I take on b2, I'm winning his rook. But he has a check on e5. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He has a developing move somewhere with like bishop c4, bishop b5 maybe. If I don't do something, I mean, he's going to play like e4 and e5 and just win here. And d6 is very passive for black. I almost feel like I have to play bishop e7. I mean, whatever happens, he's going to have some kind of small strategic compensation. Okay, he just played it very simple with knight d2. You could say that my pawns are a little bit like weakened or whatever, but I am, you know, I have more pawns than he does, which is relevant. It's good to have more pawns than the other guy. He does have some sort of compensation. What's happening here? Castles e4. Shall I play d6? Do I have time to play d6? And is this going to be a problem, like a check on b5? So thanks for the subscription. Back to chess. I like this opening a lot. Blumenfeld Gambit. Very rare line by World Loser, though. As I said, knight c3, knight a4. This may be new. Knight b1 might be a totally new idea for white. It looks a little bit slow, objectively. d6, e4. If I just play d6, e4, bishop b7, bishop b5 check, knight on bd7. What does he have there? Some positional pressure. e5. I still feel like d6 is slow. What else am I going to do, though? d6, or let's say castles e4, knight takes e4. No, in some lines you could trap the queen on a8, maybe. Castles e4, knight takes e4. Knight takes e4. Rook e8 is a perverse move there. Wow. Down a piece, like play rook e8. You'd have knight d6. No. That is crazy. I don't have time for that nonsense. I just don't have time. I would love to look at castles and like e4 sacking a piece, so like rook e8, knight takes e4, and rook e8. But I just don't have enough time. He's got 7 minutes, and I've got to be practical here. I might even be better off retreating my bishop to e6. He has positional compensation. Compensation. I don't know, I just went there. I think I was intending to play bishop b7, and I just put my bishop on e6. Whatever. It's all good. My intuition told me to put my bishop on e6 for some reason. I guess the long diagonal isn't even that relevant. I mean, this is kind of a good defender. It's like I'm playing the Najdorf or something. The chat is not working very well. Neil Skinner, the chat is working. What's up? Knight c4. World Loser's big, you know, his big character flaw is that he plays too fast. I mean, it's a blessing and a curse. Knight takes e4, queen takes e4, d5. That's probably not a good idea. Because I'm lagging so much in development. There's like this pinch point, you know, when you like put your hand in the, you know, in the, what's it called? Oh God, what do you call the thing that the door closes, the hinge of the door? When you put your hand in the hinge of the door, this is like the hinge of the door here. It's like a pinch point, and it's gonna hurt if something gets stuck in there, you know. I've got to be, I got to be careful about this weakness here on d6. That's what I meant by positional compensation. Ooh. I might have to play something horrid like bishop takes c4. I just wish I had a little more time. Yeah. Oh, this is awkward. Okay, I've got to take and play castles. Oh God. White with just great compensation now. It's like I'm playing the, it looks like I'm playing the Smith-Morra, like a bad Smith-Morra or something. Just pulverizing the white squares. It's a good thing I'm up a pawn for this. Because I don't like it. I'll be the first one to tell you. But it's better to be up a pawn than down a pawn. In general, I guess. Nice positional game by World Loser. Still, hopefully my extra pawn will justify this suffering. I do assign, well, this week it will be 20 players because I have a tournament game on Sunday morning. It'll be 6:30 p.m. 6:30 p.m. CEST, Central European Summertime. On Sunday, 20 players, 30-30 time control. Because I don't know how long my tournament game Sunday morning will go. It could go until like 4 in the afternoon, 3 in the afternoon actually. Has to be finished around 3. And then I've got to get home, get some food, and the stream starts at 6:30. So I don't have a lot of time between events. It looks like World Loser kind of hesitated there. That white squared bishop is a monster. Get it out of my face. Get it out of my face. So he had other ways to play that. I'm kind of happy to get rid of the white squared bishop. It was really truly disturbing me. I do have a bad bishop. Yeah. Anyways. Some really strange people out and about today on Friday the 13th. Wonder if I have tricks with knight g5. Well, not always. But if World Loser's not careful, like his king will get trapped in the center. Right. Cuts out the knight g5 plan. So I better not plan on keeping his king trapped in the center. I have this move. Oh. Wresting control of d5. Yeah, we can expect strange trolls on Friday the 13th, I assume. Guys, if you want to contact me, during the stream, make sure you just send a chat there on the Twitch stream. If anybody else sends me like a message or something, I don't want to read my private messages. You don't want to see those. You live in New Zealand, so 5:30 Monday for me, but that's a school day. Oh man, I was waiting for some kind of tactic here. Do I have anything? We got all our pieces developed and we're up a pawn. But my extra pawn is it is a little suspicious. He's got a counter tactic. Tactics and counter tactics. Please don't let anything be hanging here. I already checked rook d1. Oh no, he has it. He had a move. That sucks. That sucks too. Good game, World Loser. Nice job, man. Proud of you. You hung in there and you got me. I knew there had to be some kind of tactic to mess that up. That's beautiful. Queen h4. Nice job. I missed the winning move here. Ouch. Rook d4. Oh no. So World Loser's time strategy is justified. I couldn't find it. Couldn't find it in time pressure. He sent that troll there to distract me at the key moment in the game. Did you do that? I had like 14 seconds and I didn't see rook d4. Power of positive thinking. I was like angry with myself for missing queen h4, and obviously f6 doesn't do anything because it's like pinned, you know. But I certainly shouldn't lose this position. How did I hang mate again? This is funny. I'm like, what? There's no rook there. Like, oh god, that's embarrassing. All right, man. Good job. So gonna play Constant Change, and then I'll go to the subscribers. Constant Change is a regular player in the stream, and last time he waited like the whole stream and didn't get to play. So I'm gonna play this game, then I'm gonna take the subscribers. Back to Basics subscribed, Mule Skinner. Then we'll get to the other players like Knight to D5 and Chess Armageddon. Chess Armageddon is not a subscriber, I think. He poisoned the mods so they wouldn't show. He is the mod. Yeah, man. I just dropped the rook on. I mean, I'm like, well, the rook's not hanging, so it's okay, right? Now I can take on e4. It was like he read my mind, you know. He knew I was gonna like take the piece on e4. Anyway, it was a fun game. World losers, world domination. Constant Change is not here again. He does this a lot. I really wanted to give him a chance to play, but sometimes his internet drops out. I'll give him like 40 seconds, 45 seconds. Knight to d5, you gotta go. Alright, I'll catch you on Monday. I've got a stream on Sunday doing a simul here, lichess, 6:30 p.m. Yeah, otherwise Monday would be my next stream. More blitz and classical chess. Sorry, Knight to d5. I couldn't get to your challenge in time. Potato Master, 10-0. We're not playing 10-0 today. But Potato Master just challenged me to 7+3. It's basically the same thing as 10-0. Effectively. Effective stacks. Constant Change. What happened, dude? He's got internet problems. We'll go to Back to Basics, and then Mule Skinner, and then Armageddon. Yo, later, dude. Knight to d5. So World Losers like programming like random bot trolls to come and distract me like with a minute left on the clock. Okay, Back to Basics. We haven't seen you in a long time, Back to Basics. Thanks for subscribing. What do we want to do against the English? See, I've been playing the symmetrical English a lot, and I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and it's kind of like the Caro Kann. I've decided it's not good to play the symmetrical English against lower rated players because it's too dry, it's like too drawish and too solid. If we want to win against lower rated players, I have to play something more imbalanced, you know, like you have to create a more imbalanced pawn structure to maximize your winning chances. I mean, I do play b6 sometimes. What does he do there? Actually, I don't remember what Back to Basics does against b6. You know, this is a move that bothers a lot of people who play g3. So now he's going to transpose to some kind of English defense. Proxima, change the challenge to 7+3 if you're Potato Master. Something like 7+3, because I usually play with an increment. I mean, theoretically, I could accept your challenge of 10-0. You know, it's not a big deal. But, you know, that's the criteria I've set, so we might as well not start making exceptions at this point. You know, I like to play with the increment. I get used to it, and it's like a pace, you know, so. But I bet I played this against Back to Basics a long time ago. That's the last word in that sentence that I was about to leave out. Guys, I really want to tell you guys about my YouTube channel, Video Chess Training on YouTube, but not just to promote it, but I do upload the streams there. And I just wanted to tell everybody that yesterday we had I thought a really good stream with a lot of quality games, more than usual, during my subscriber stream on Thursday. So if you want to watch the replay, or the whatever you want to call it, watch the video of yesterday's stream on, you can still watch it on Twitch, of course, for like a couple weeks. A3, man. Now if I play G6, we transpose to my game that I beat Alexander Onishuk. The hippo strikes again. I can certainly play C5, and we're back into symmetrical English. God. That's pretty much the only really great options. I mean, you're either playing a hippo or you're playing symmetrical English here. I mean, that's about all we have left. Alright, back to basics. It's more correct to play C5, of course. I don't know, maybe I could play something experimental like knight to F6 there. You know what? That might not be bad. Okay, knight F6 allows for a lot of possibilities. You know, I could play knight F6, E5, knight E4, or knight F6, E5, knight G8. I'm basically playing like a Larsen opening with colors reversed. This is a weird move. I mean, usually they'll go for a fianchetto. Now he doesn't go with the fianchetto. It almost looks like he wants to play like knight F3 and D4 or something. But now knight F6. It could turn into a weird hedgehog where he has to play like D3 or something. Mubat, thank you. You guys for waking up, Mubat. Mikey Slice. I'm welcome for the raid. Mikey Slice. Oh, you're hosting me for 12 viewers. Wow. Thank you. Bishop F3. Yeah, thank you. I'm just concentrating on this weird position. Sorry for not noticing. Thanks again to Back to Basics for subscribing too. Bishop F3. I'm a little tired, guys. I had a really good stream last night, but I didn't sleep very well. I know that I'm the master of excuses. Anyone who's watched my stream on a regular basis, has heard my excuses. But I didn't sleep. I've been sleeping pretty well since I got over my jet lag a month ago. Bishop F3, man. I didn't think you were going to seriously do this. Queen C8 might be necessary. That's weird, though. I mean, I allow. The problem is Queen C7, Knight B5. How strange is that? I don't really want to put my knight on C6. There's got to be a good move for black. I mean, I could play E5. A lot of people would like play E5 here. It's so inflexible positionally. But it's actually funny how few moves I have. Like, D6 literally loses a piece. That is perverse. Knight G8. That would be a sick move. That can't be right. It feels like knight C6, but then I have to retreat my knight back. But it's probably good for me. I hate putting my knight in front of my bishop in a hedgehog scenario, but the D4 is weak. If he pushes this up, we're going back, and this pawn is like a big problem for white. How is he going to protect that long term? I seriously doubt he can do that. He can do it, but I wouldn't do it. D6 is a Magnus move. Can you do D6? How would you do that and not lose a piece? Okay, white's setup is artificial. He played like A3, bishop F3. There's something weird about that, you know. He should just play G3 when I played C5, and this would be a totally normal. Aldistos here, he likes to play this stuff with white. It's just a Botvinnik English. I mean, I think that normally that's what Back to Basics would do. Maybe he was afraid of F5. I mean, it's something to fear, but maybe he didn't like it, I don't know. Guys, we're streaming for like another hour, basically. Z-Fox. Queen C7 isn't really good either because of knight B5. I guess I could play Queen C7, come to think of it. You know what? Okay, I've got to be faster. But Queen C7, no, I have no Queen B8. See, I need Queen B8. And I don't have Queen B8 here. Well, there are not a lot of options in this position. I didn't think he could properly support the pawn on e5 here, the way his pieces are set up. It's kind of like when I played queen f3 against I played queen f3 against who was it that played the Alekhines defense against me, and then I couldn't protect e5 with anything like normal. Now queen b8. How does he protect e5? He's going to have to sack it. But maybe that's good for him, actually. I don't believe in this. Tooth Fairy. I don't believe in the Tooth Fairy. And I don't believe that pawn on e5 can be protected. It's bishop on f3. It's hard to use that to protect the pawn on e5. It's really hard to protect the pawn on e5. So he's going to have to sack it. The problem with d4, I mean, we just take with the pawn. Now he takes, obviously this is getting snapped with check, which is a problem. I mean, we can bring this around to the other side, ultimately. I mean, e5 is a standard Flormikinus English kind of move, which is an opening that I've played many times. The hanging rook. Castles sacking a pawn. How do we take it? If he castles, do we take with the queen or take with the knight? I like the knight takes. Man, we've got this juicy queen on the long diagonal. It's like chess 960. I mean, putting our queen on e5 is just asking for trouble. White has a very, very tiny developmental compensation. But it's there. It's there. It's a little like my game with World Loser a minute ago. Another positional pawn sack. He's got something for it. The computer would probably laugh at him, but I'm not laughing. You have to play bishop takes and then d4. I mean, it's like really passive to do anything else. d3. I mean, d3 looks really slow. I think you have to go for it here. Can you sack a second pawn on c4? That's the thing, though. I mean, d4, knight takes c4. What's he going to do? It's like 2 pawns down. Does he have enough compensation? Half of me wants to, half of me like on multiple personality. Half of me wants to not take the second pawn. But I feel like it's almost mandatory. The knight has a good retreat square on d6. It covers a lot of ground. I can also just support it with d5. Maybe this will prove to be too dangerous. I don't know, but I mean, just going on intuition, it feels like white shouldn't have quite enough here in terms of compensation. Not quite. At least he's not enough. He doesn't have enough to be. He shouldn't be better. You know, maybe he has enough compensation to hold the balance, but I don't think that this can be better. d5 is an interesting move. I guess that's one way to play for sure. Go b3 and then d4. b3 first, okay. The problem with b3 first is that my knight could bounce back to e5. I mean, that's what we're talking about now. That's what I'm talking about. Do you want to go to e5 or do you want to go to d6? And d6 somehow seems more solid, doesn't it? Slightly less natural square, the d6, but it guards a lot of key places. It's also inside my my position. Pieces should be behind the pawns for the most part. Now what, like rook e1, bishop f4, bishop g5, bishop f4, rook d8 I have to play. I can win a pawn, but I'm really lagging in development. Actually, bishop f4, knight takes d5. How many pawns can he sack here? That would be sick. Like bishop f4, sacking a third pawn. No, how many pawns is he going to sacrifice here? I really feel like I'm playing chess 960. Castle's queenside is definitely an option. I mean, bishop e7 can't be bad. But it actually pins myself. Knight e4, wow. Knight f, knight d e4. Knight d e4. It seems like a strange move, but the knight was kind of weird on d6. Trading pieces is certainly okay. We're just getting coordinated. You could take on d5, 3 pawns up, you get mated or something. Yeah, I could take on d5, I guess. Knight takes, queen takes, pawn takes, rook e1, f6. And I'm just winning. I could even castle. No, I can't. I have to play f6. Yeah. If I had more time, I might have played this differently. Yeah, he doesn't have enough compensation here. I have queen d6, queen c6. If he tries anything fancy. Now he has to play like bishop f, rather knight f4. Knight f4, bishop d6, pawn takes pawn. Bishop takes f4. Plant style. Trouts isn't here. I was joking with him about ingesting material. It just kind of gets digested by the black position. Yeah. Just calmly retreat. 3 pawns. 3 pawns for nothing. He's not giving up. He's got f4 coming next. Coordinated force. The fianchettoed knight attack. He's lost his grip. Alright. Let's get the rest of the pieces mobilized. The rooks. Hedgehog. It's a true hedgehog. White's missing a little bit of his hedgehog. A little bit of his hedgehogness is missing. Something is missing here. Was it ever sound? Let's use the oracle to see. Okay, this is a very creative move. You know, objectively, obviously giving White's advantage away. No, the computer likes it. Okay, knight f6 is interesting. Wow, the engine likes my move. It's equally good to other options. Wow, it says e5, dude. Holy crap. Bishop takes f3. Oh no. What is this? Wow, that's wild. Okay. So bishop f3, bishop takes h1, bishop takes... I didn't even look at this. Knight c6, pawn takes f6. Or do you want to take on c6? That's a cool line. Dynamic equality. But, yeah, the engine's suggesting queen c7 there. I found the right move, it looks like. Knight c6. Because e5 sucks, and And that's the only other move. The computer likes d3. I was making fun of that move. Bishop takes. You could do bishop takes. What? Again, d3. Yeah, it's pathetic. I mean, I agree with your assessment here. Okay, he never got enough. Chess Armageddon. King Chaser's back. He drew in a kind of tough position yesterday. Mule Skinner. Potato Master. I guess the next subscriber is Potato Master. Oh, I just took Potato Master. Sorry, he's not a subscriber. Sorry, Potato Master. Re-challenge me, please. I meant to take Mule Skinner. Sorry to tease you there, Potato Master. Please just re-challenge me. I meant to take Mule Skinner. Alright, that's a diss. It was an accident. I'm sorry. Mule Skinner. I like to play the Scandinavian against Mule Skinner. I didn't know Mubat would say it too. What happened? Oh, what happened in the stream, guys? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. GR say I have to play with my subscribers first, and then we'll take the other players in order which they challenged me. I can't just take random people out of order ahead of others, as much as you might like me to. C4. Okay, we have had our share of Caro-Khans. Okay, D4, C takes D. And then I'm going to play, I guess, G6. I also play Knight C6 followed by G6. This is a line that I've done a lot of work on in the last couple of years. Please re-challenge me, Potato Master. I'm sorry about that. Thanks for the re-challenge. Hopefully we'll get to those games, guys. Mule Skinner and I have had a number of games in this line, and this is kind of my main defense by way of a number of move orders. It's actually a Caro-Khan, but I can get in this line through the English opening, really a whole bunch of different ways. I don't know, Mule Skinner I don't think has played the main line against me, Queen B3, for whatever reason. I have to go soon at these streams too sometimes. Yeah, it happens to everybody. We all have we have responsibilities, unfortunately, or we all would be as good as Magnus Carlsen. Yeah, for some reason Mule Skinner doesn't seem to want to play Queen B3. This is the theoretically best move. I don't know that he's ever played that against me. This is more of a classical move, Bishop C4. And it is possible to take. It's also possible to play E6. And Knight B6 is the main move. And I guess I've played that against him for the most part. E6 looks like a weird move, but it is also playable. Nah, it's safer to play Knight B6 in this line. Mule Skinner last time, I believe, went kind of crazy, and he played it like it was. He played it like it was like really a Scandinavian. Tried to attack me like a maniac on the king side. Some sort of insane H4 Tau-like approach. But it wasn't good. You have to play positionally here, Mule Skinner. This is a D4 opening now. It's no longer an E4 opening. It's more like a Grunfeld, E3 Grunfeld. I play this line with white, actually. You're now playing the white side of the Grunfeld. I tell people all the time how those openings are interrelated. The Tarrasch, the Grunfeld, you know, Back to Basics has heard this lecture before. The Panov, the Grunfeld, and the Tarrasch, they're all the same opening. But Mule Skinner cannot play this like it's an E4 game anymore. I think that's the situation. It's really not good to castle queenside in an isolated queen pawn position like this. Last time he tried, but it was like going against the grain of the position. You just have to play only moves. I think I had this position. Let's see. I might have played Sergei Grigorians in this. I think I had this against Gregorians. Some team game. It was a draw. Yeah, bishop e3 or d5. I'm just trying to remember. I think bishop e3 is better. It's possible to play d5, but then black goes knight a5. But that's a line as well. So you know, I'd like to play bishop g4 here, but the Grunfeld, whatever you want to call it, bishop takes a7, f7, pow. King takes knight g5 check. That's why you have to castle first. You know, now Muleskinner has to be accurate. You can play d5 here, or you can play another move. You can also castle, but castles I think allows black to equalize really easily. I think this is inaccurate for white. So that's why h3, Muleskinner. You're supposed to stop bishop g4, I guess. No, actually, yeah, h3 must be like one of the main lines. Then I can play either e5 or knight a5. But this move is supposed to equalize for black. Although it may be just a draw. It's basically a weird kind of tarash. I was looking at this, and I'm not sure that black can realistically play for a win. But like there were just like tons of draws when I saw the games in the database. Yeah, probably. The question is, I mean, it's very dangerous to play bishop takes d4, I guess. Yeah, we're supposed to play knight takes d4. But I'm afraid this is just very drawish. I've never analyzed it beyond this. What's supposed to happen. I mean, if he's supposed to take or play queen takes b7 immediately. I just basically know that it's like drawish according to the games that are in the database and the engine. Now I don't even know which way to take, because if I take with the queen, all my stuff is hanging. Well, actually, like, you can take with the queen and then play queen d7, but it looks kind of passive for black. Queen takes d4, queen takes b7, queen d7, queen takes d7, knight takes d7, and then something like knight to d5. I mean, white hardly has an advantage. So, if he plays rook d1, however, I'm a little concerned about rook d1. Where does my queen go? Queen c5. Queen c5. Queen takes b7. Then what? Rook b8. Queen takes a7. And then I don't have a good move. The other rook b8. It's pretty awkward. I mean, realistically, I should be okay here. Queen takes d4, rook d1, queen somewhere, but where? Which square? Queen b4 I was looking at? Maybe queen b4. Queen takes b7, a5. That's kind of a cool move. I guess if nothing else. But I don't think we have any winning chances here. It's possible to take with the bishop on d4 as well, but I mean, it's going to force me to get pinned on the d file. Then I have to play e5, which weakens my king side. It would weaken f7 a bit. I don't know. Museo Gambit. You know, I'm not a King's Gambit file. It's not particularly useful. I do play it for fun, you know, in Blitz. So here the idea was queen b4. That was the final analysis. To play queen b4 and a5. It's important to defend my queen, and he doesn't have a3. I can play bishop takes c3, but the endgame is better for white. You guys have to understand that this take, queen takes e7, it's a technical ending which is very unpleasant for black. So we don't really want to go there. I want to play this. I want to play e6 if I can. And I don't want to trade my powerful bishop for that crappy knight on c3. And e6 will shut down his bishop on b3. I think when we get to the post-game analysis, the engine will probably play a5 as well. I hope. You know, I hope I'm right, because I spent a lot of time. I spent basically 2 minutes. I almost spent 2 minutes on this move. A lot of people disagree with this kind of time management, but I kind of subscribe to the Alexander Ivanov, you know, school of time management, where we basically take a long think in one position and try to basically, if we can, figure out pretty much what's going on in the game altogether. Like one holistic moment, you know, where we just kind of get a general plan going on. That's what I'm doing here. Rook e1, I like that move, Will Skinner. I like that move. And it may be a problem. Did I miscalculate this? Because of rook e4, that's a pretty deep move to find. We may have serious troubles because of this. e6, rook b4. Okay, e6, well, hold on a second. e6, rook b4, queen c5. Rook e4, queen c5. Why was queen c5 no good before? Because of knight e4, but he won't have that square anymore. So I think we can play this. He won't have, you know, he can't put both his knight and his rook on the same square, basically. So we have the c5 square, which we need here. And hopefully everything will be in order after that. If knight d5, knight d5 not an option. Loses a piece 6 different ways. Oh, knight d5 for white. Yeah. You assume correctly. Yeah, but I don't see what he's got now, you know. I think I'm out of the woods, basically. I say basically all the time. Gotta stop that. I get obsessed with one word. I'm trying to correct myself. Okay, queen c5, everything's in order, we're fine. We've both got about 2 minutes left. I even kind of prefer black because my bishop is looking more ominous than his. Ominous on Friday the 13th. We can finally start attacking his queen. We have a4. You could argue that black has a better pawn structure because I have a bigger pawn island and it's a kind of minority attack on the queen side. But white is at a dead end here. Now he probably has to think about defending. I could even win a pawn at some point. Pretty much, I think, optimal play by both sides. I don't know about the move rook e4. Though I didn't offer a better suggestion. Somebody suggested knight d5. I mean, there were ways that Skinner could probably play for a draw if he had wanted to. You know, he could certainly have simplified and settled for like equality. What does ominous mean? Yeah, there's like something bad is going to happen. Speaking of simplifying, is anything unprotected? If not, then I have to do this. Okay, yeah, there is a pawn issue at b2. The f2 pawn is really a weakness on the dark squares. He should probably have tried to trade queens there. He just blundered. Ominous. A feeling when something bad is going to happen. Ominous is more, it's more general. It's like when something is kind of frightening or scary. Foreshadowing of the bad, something bad in the future. Skinner just melted down here. We're going to see a lot of games when we go through this position. Yeah, as I said, h3 is the best move. I think I had that game with Gregorians. With white, out of the Grunfeld. But what I didn't realize here is that I'm supposed to play knight a5. My move is only the second best move. Wow, that's interesting. Whoops. Knight a5 has a great score. Well, maybe it's not the second best move, but the computer sure thinks it is. This has a tremendous score for black, knight a5. Look at the score, it's like outrageous. Okay, it's just 15 games, so it's not a relevant sample size, but... I played, oh shit, 6 cent pawn loss. No. Bishop g4, just the second best move. I had 7 cent pawn loss. It was a short game. Littlewood versus Dragojevic. Never heard of him. I've heard of Littlewood. So queen takes b7 is like, you know, the natural pawn grabber move. So the engine likes a6. Ah, my move. It's sort of like e6 better. I didn't even consider e6. It felt passive. But white isn't threatening anything. And that even stops your knight to d5 idea, guys. But it's a close one between a5 and e6. A5 is the best move, according to the engine. Yeah, he can bail out maybe with knight to d5. Rook e4 felt kind of artificial to me, Mule Skinner. But you're already on the defensive here. Now you should try to trade queens with queen c6, and I think you have some drawing chances there. After queen c6, it's a rook, a double rook and opposite color bishop ending where you're down a pawn. It's a very tough kind of ending. All right, let's get back to our challenges. I don't know if I'm going to get to everybody. I'm going to try. Chess Armageddon's up next. Chess Armageddon. 7 cent pawn loss, but I really know those structures extremely well. I've been working a lot on these kind of lines, so. But it's good to know that knight a5 is actually a better move than bishop g4. Okay, Chess Armageddon. I'm playing my serious repertoire here. GRSA got to go. I will see you later, man. Just show up a little earlier if you wanna get a game. Gotta kind of show up at the beginning of the stream, I guess. English opening, French defense. I'm ominous when my opponents play h4. I'm happy. You know, last time in the same variation, Muleskinner played h4. It didn't go well for him. This time it was close to a draw if he trades queens there. He gave me... Did I give him 15 seconds? What happened? Don't give me more time, Chess Armageddon. A reward for the stream. 15 seconds. We already don't have time to get to our current challenger, so don't give me any more time. GRSA said he's got to go. We're going to play another Tarrasch now. It could be a Tarrasch, it could be a Catalan. What else could it be? Semi-Tarrasch, I guess. Not a proper semi-Tarrasch, though. This is the Catalan. This is a flop. This is the Catalan. I have 2 lines here. I have here 2 lines. I played this against my friend Dragan Kosic a few years ago. I'm not a Catalan expert, but I do occasionally play it. It's kind of easy to play the Catalan. It feels like it's an easy opening to play. You don't really need to know the theory to play the Catalan. It's just like very logical to me. You can find the moves because it's just a straightforward kind of opening. I think the Catalan is popular for that reason. Plus, it's very solid. Queen a4 is one line. The other line is d takes c5. I'm pretty sure I played Queen a4 against Kosic. There's some weird lines in this. Even after bishop d7, there's like multiple moves for white. Both d takes c and queen takes c4. Easy and boring. I mean, you know, I think the Catalan, yeah, it may be a little boring, I guess, if you're looking at it from, especially from Black's perspective. Tactical Wizard. Oh, you're the guy who's Chess Armageddon. Well, I mean, what are you supposed to do, honestly, against the guy who's going to play the Queen's Gambit? I can argue that you're playing e6 and d5 is boring, man, you know? Playing e6 and d5 is boring. It's your fault that the game is boring. You could play a lot of things. It's not my fault. He's blaming me for playing the Catalan. You're the one that played the Queen's Gambit declined or something like that. Symmetrical. You played d5 and e6. You could play the Mexican defense or something if you don't like boring. You could play knight f3, a6. Yeah, this is probably my game with Kosic, and he did the strange move queen e7 here, which is really rare. I'm not sure the move order was exactly the same, but I don't have very many Catalans with white, so I remember the ones that I did play. I can probably count them on like one hand. The amount of like Catalans that I've played on the white side against strong players, it's probably like 5 or 6 instances of that. Not that many. I played against Bundsmann, Kosic, Rousis, Golubov. Bishop b6 here. That's an aggressive move. So I can play knight g5 at some point. Knight g5, I mean bishop g5. I mean my other g5. That's what I was really debating here. Is it better to play bishop g5 or knight c3 first? So now we go. I'm just thinking, is it possible to go postal here and sack a piece? Bishop g5, h6, queen h4, h takes g6, knight takes, I mean g5, knight takes g5, rook e8. Knight e4. It's probably not enough for white. But I have to develop somehow. I could play queen h4 first. It's probably more accurate. What would Kramnik do? White plays queen b5 for some reason. What? Queen b5. Bishop e6 is a risky move for black. But I don't think that my move is really dangerous for him. Yeah, queen h4 is probably wrong. I think the black is okay here. Probably okay here. If he defends correctly. At least okay. He may have like only one move in this position. Only one good move. What else could I have played? Like bishop g5, rook d1. I guess rook d1. I'm too paranoid about the f2 pawn. You're going to go with the isolated d pawn. Yeah, it's... Well, I wouldn't call it dynamic. Not dynamic in this instance. I thought his best move was knight e7. Trying to exploit my queen and get the bishop out to c6. Knight d5 is okay. You know, it's probably not quite as good. But I think that my queen h4 is probably a mistake. As in not the best move. Not bad, but not the best move. A slight inaccuracy. I do have knight to g5, for whatever that's worth. Yeah, but I mean, knight e7, bishop g5, you can just play knight g6 or something. But it's not a big deal. You can allow the double pawns, especially if you trade queens. It would be no problem for black. Alright, bishop g5, knight g5. Knight g5, h6. What am I doing? Bishop g5. Hey, is bishop g5 a good move? It's a crazy idea. I'm like playing like what's his name? Friend of Morozevich. Who's the buddy of Morozevich? The younger grandmaster who's quite strong. I can't remember the name now off the top of my head. It's a weird name. Morozevich Jr. No, dude. I think Chess Armageddon must be quite young. He thinks Morozevich is like 70 years old. Alright. We induced a very small weakening in Black's position. That was the goal here. It's really, it's a very fine, a very, very small detail, you know, inducing f6. Not fatal for Black, but it might improve my winning chances just a little bit. What? I didn't think you had this. I must have miscalculated. I guess I just miscalculated, huh? Oh no. Did I lose a piece? Oh, he's got me. He won a piece. What's going on here? I thought I was winning, but I guess not. F4. Is F4 illegal? But other than that, it's a good move. Dude, you got 5-second increments left. I guess I just lost a piece. Knight takes e6, queen takes h4, pawn takes h4. What was I thinking here? Just a miscalculation, I guess. It's a pity about that move being illegal. Knight takes, I mean, f4 would be quite strong if it was legal. If my king was on h1, I could play f4 with serious chances. Just like lost a piece. I mean, this is really sad. Knight there. I'm just losing a piece here. I mean, this is ridiculous. Let's see. Yeah, this is an inferior move. Queen h4. I thought he should play knight e7. But I'm apparently wrong about that. Now knight e5 gives me an advantage. So knight d5, bishop g5, f6. Now I just have to go back and have very, very point 2 advantage. For some reason I didn't think I was losing a piece here. I didn't see h6, or I don't know, I just didn't count the pieces. Just lost for white. Okay, weird hallucination. I just, for some reason, thought I had the same amount of pieces as you. King Chaser, GRSA, Potato Meister. I'm not going to get to the rest of the challenges today. We'll get to like one or two here. King Chaser, GRSA. It looks like. Yeah, I just Chess Pro 2. You just subbed. Chess Pro 2. Are you which account is yours? Oh, your Ninja Rookstart. Okay. Well, we have time for that game. Then that will probably be the last one. Ninja Rookstart just subbed. Sorry guys, I was kind of in another planet there. I thought I don't know, it just bothers me when I drop pieces mysteriously, thinking like we had the same amount of pieces. It was normal. I'm thinking like it was normal there, you know. But there's no sense in playing on. I mean, I just dropped a piece for like a pawn or two. I mean, that's a waste of time to continue. So bishop g5 was actually a good move by me. Then he goes there, but the whole plan was to play knight takes d5, so my whole plan was wrong. Nepomniachtchi, that's the name I was trying to remember. Nepomniachtchi. Morozevich II. Bishop e4. GRSA, dude, I can't play. I told you already, I can't play people just because they want to play first, you know. A lot of people have different reasons why they have to go or not. I can't, you know, play favorites here for different people. I just have to take the challenges in order. Ninja Rookstar subscribed, and we're going to play him next. So King Chaser, this is kind of an unusual line, but it's got a few games. Like there are some games in the database with this kind of funky setup with the knight on c6 and e6, and there are different move orders where black can reach this setup. Sometimes playing knight c6 really like straight away, but a6 looks kind of weird to me. I don't think I like a6. I guess it's not a horrible move, but I don't see why it's really necessary. He gets snaked by a new subscriber. Oh, those sneaky subscribers. I'm lucky if I get one subscriber a day. I have to respect these guys. I really appreciate it. We actually got 2 subscribers today, although one of them is an old friend of the stream. So, oh man. All right, now with a6, you know, he could have ideas of playing like d takes c4 down the line and taking that pawn and like holding on to it. I guess that's the thing here. It's also awkward to play something like b3 because of the long diagonal bishop. So it's kind of a problem. I think I'll probably have to take on d5, though I don't like it. In this sort of structure, a6 is pretty irrelevant now. You know, this will help him in some respects, that his bishop will open up. But on the other hand, a6 is like a totally useless move for black on the queen side in this exchange queen's gambit kind of structure. a6 could turn out to be a serious weakness if you're playing like Akiba Rubinstein or something. Like, okay, we've got challenges against Ninja Rookstar. If one of the games is really fast, I could play that 5-3. If we finish one of these games early, but I'm not making any promises, GRSA. I have a really tight schedule. I really have very little free time today, all the way until like 5 in the afternoon. Now King Chaser took with a knight. After all said and done, I really think he should open up his bishop on c8. You know, this is to me that feels like the right idea. You know, now I can just play e3. We go like, okay, e4 actually is possible too, but it's totally different. I was thinking e3. E3, queen E2. I admit his knight is pretty strong on D5. Okay, there's a school of thought that would probably promote E4 here. I'm getting tired. Chess Pro, resign, please. Either way, you lose. What is that? Chess Pro is not playing. What do you mean by that, Proxima? You're talking about a game analysis? Of course, E3 is safer, Photon Man. It's the standard, yeah. Standard kind of stuff. I mean, you know, normally in this kind of structures we would put the queen on E2, but I'm not so sure here. I think I like this simple, just like bishop D2 and go to the C file. I want to try to make black pay, you know, for this backwardness along the C file here. Very simple plan. Black's queen side with the knight on C6 and A6. It's a bit strange. My simul on Sundays is usually 40-40, but I'm doing 30-30 this week. It'll be about, the game should last about 2.5 hours max, starting at 6:30 p.m. CST. So 20 player simul. GRSA, I promise to accept you. It's a 20 player simul, 6:30, and it's 2.5 hours till 9 o'clock CEST, Central European Summertime. Friday the 13th chess stream. I should have like a Freddy Krueger pullover or something in honor of Friday the 13th. I know that Freddy Krueger is not from Friday the 13th, but it just somehow, you know, goes together. A new sub. New sub? What's so special about this week? The special thing about this week is that I have a game on Sunday morning. If you're talking about the simul. Now what am I doing? Actually, King Chaser's pretty strong. You know, he defended a bad position yesterday. He's 2200. I have a good score against him, but it's easy to forget that he's actually pretty credible. You know, 2200 in classical is not bad. So I have to take care. He's not a beginner. Rook c1, knight takes c3. I feel like I'm wasting my time a little bit there. Knight takes d5 is kind of lame, forcing him to take with the pawn and fix his bishop. The problem is it's hard to find a useful move here, isn't it? What is the most useful move for white? I don't really want to put my queen opposite the rook on e8, and knight e4 allows like e5 probably. Rook c1, okay, I don't know. I mean, for lack of a better idea, it's a totally normal move. It makes some sense. Knight takes c3, bishop takes c3, e5. He can actually do that. No, he can't, because of the rook c1 in the end. Knight takes c3, bishop takes c3, e5. We just trade everything and take on c7 at the end. That's good. That's a good point of rook c1. GRSA, man. Jeez, dude. Can I wait for you? Well, we start when we start. You know, the maximum I'm going to wait for somebody is like 5 minutes. I don't mean to be cold-hearted, but there's like 20 people. So, you know, if somebody's like, wait 5 minutes for me, I can do that. I'm a reasonable guy. But that's the best I can do. Knight, you have a busy schedule on Sundays. Now knight e4, knight c5. What's he going to do, like b6? Oh, that's kind of ugly. I mean, that is really ugly, b6. Go ahead and do b6 if you want to. I mean, I'm threatening this. It's better for white. If he does b6, I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll just put my knight back on c3 or something. Softening up like the long diagonal. We'll just probe. Go back and reprobe a different weakness. Chess Pro, thanks for subscribing, man. We got Back to Basics today, who's actually an old stream. I wouldn't call him a regular, but a friend of the stream. And now Chess Pro, which is awesome. CEST, which is Central European. Summertime. Whoa, the e5. Uh-oh. This is kind of an unpleasant surprise. Damn. If I take everything and play knight c5, I'm dropping my b2 pawn. But he's also dropping stuff too. Take everything and play. What am I hallucinating? Okay, he's going to take with the bishop. What about this knight on d5? It's like unprotected. That's relevant. Okay. Maybe I should take with the knight first. The fact this knight on d5 is unprotected, I thought it was relevant, but I'm not so sure anymore. Damn, he has tricky counterplay. The crows are coming. This move is super weird. Should I overlook this? I could sack the exchange. I mean, sacking the exchange here is not a joke. That could actually be quite strong for white. Bishop b5, f4 in your face. Bishop takes f1, have the exchange. Thank you for this pawn on e5. That's something to seriously consider. I think that white would have pretty real comp if I want to sack the exchange with f4. So he does not allow that. The problem is, who cares? That's what the Muppets say. Okay, we've got some small advantage, but it may not be enough. Stupid bishop b5 is messing everything up. Now I have to do this move, which is totally not what I had planned in advance, but alright. It defends b2, attacks the knight. Knight c5 remains a threat. We have rook fd1 now, putting the rook on a decent square. I'm not sure if it's even good. Fantastic. So he plays this anyway. Wow, bishop c6. Speaking of exchange sacrifices, it doesn't do anything. Yeah, but I really thought you should play bishop b5 there. It's sort of annoying. You've got bishop b5, rook fd1, bishop e2, forcing me to put my rook on a stupid square. Then you just go back, I guess. Does it really benefit you at the end, though? Maybe not. Anyways, all right, here we are in a kind of precarious situation for black, more precarious than for me. I'm sure for Karpov my position is like a massive advantage. Let's see. All right, we're kind of getting in time pressure. I think I'm seriously threatening to play knight takes b7. undermining his bishop on c6. It's a weird issue, but it's an issue. I mean, I know that I'm threatening to win a piece with bishop takes d5, but the secondary threat may be indefensible. Three thirty a.m. Yeah, it's 3:30 a.m. for you. Damn. What time zone are you in, Tactical Wizard? You're like in Australia or something? What? It must be Australia. Asia Pacific. Knight b6, knight takes b7. Well, no, I mean, knight b6, I just take on c6 with a crushing positional advantage. Well, now he's looking at something like for king side ideas. I think he wants to like try to attack me on the king side. Okay, my knight is a little messed up on b7. You have to admit. Good defense by King Chaser. Very little time here. If I get pinned, if I play knight takes b7, I get pinned. So I think I should just smash this pawn structure and do my best, you know, to kind of consolidate this structural advantage. Structural. Don't really want to drop that pawn. We have this Aronian style. Rook b5. Oh my god, dude. Seriously? That is evil. Rook b5 is evil. Last time he beat me with very short time, or drew with very short time. Now he's gonna do it again. Damn, dude. He's coming back. My king side, you know, could easily, I could get checkmated by like a queen and knight and rook or something. And what is going on here? Damn, he's defending like a genius. I don't even think I have an advantage anymore. Damn. I'm like worse now. I'm just down a pawn. Wow, impressive. I'm down a pawn. I probably shouldn't trade pieces. He accepted my draw for with 0.3 seconds left. It's a correct. It's a correct moment to offer draw. Great defense, man. All right. I've got to play this game with Ninja Rookstar. I'm a little bit over time, but we've got to honor the subscribers. I mean, I'm sorry I can't play with GRSA, but he wasn't here in time. That's all I can do, you know. So the good defense by black there in an ugly position. I was probably close to clearly worse at the end, down a pawn, and it would have been a tough defense for me, King Chaser. Friday the 13th is almost over. Nothing bad happened. Wished me luck. I always love playing poker on Friday the 13th. Speaking of luck, knight f6. All right. Friday night is the only night I get to be doing stuff outside of chess, really. Friday and Saturday, oh, sometimes Saturday. b4, this is somebody else played this against me. Oh. Okay, Ninja Rookstar. Where are you from, by the way? Mr. Ninja Rookstar. Am I supposed to play bishop g4? That's too slow now. I would think that's too slow for me to go bishop g4 at this point. Yeah, well, I don't do 1 minute chess. Life is too short to do 1 minute chess. I can equate it to other enjoyable but rather useless activities. But I won't be profanic here. Is profanic a word? Profanic. We'll look it up. But anyway, the older I get, the less I know. No, the older I get, the less I, want to waste my time not learning. I wasted too much time already in this short life we have. So, bullet chess, while it's very entertaining, I don't think it's productive. It can actually really hurt your game if you just end up like getting addicted to doing that and nothing else. It's like drugs. I was friendly with Roland Schmaltz, who was like basically like the best bullet player in the world at one point, and he he was equating it very much to like drug use, playing, for him at least, playing 1 minute. I think it's a very dangerous sort of addiction. This is the line that Andrew Martin recommended in his old videos with b4. I know there's this like Australian guy, Ben Haig, who plays some weird like Esserman. Esserman I don't think plays b4. Esserman definitely mentions this line. I'm sure that he mentions this line in his book, which I recommend, but I don't play the Mora. It is possible to take the pawn here on e4. I mean, what is going on after knight takes e4? What? I mean, it's not only possible. I mean, it might be the best move, to play knight takes e4. But it's going to be complicated too. It also isn't absolutely necessary to take on e4. It might be better just to develop a piece with bishop e7. I've never played with Ninja Rookstar, so I don't know anything about it. It's nice to know something about your opponents. Okay, knight takes e4, bishop f4, I guess, or he has other moves he could play, like rook e1, but something incorporating these ideas. Is he threatening e5? Is that an idea, like bishop e7, e5, pawn takes pawn, queen takes queen, bishop takes? There's some crazy possibilities like that. That's one argument for playing knight takes e4. Well, knight takes e4, what is he going to do? Again, as I said, rook e1. I could see that, like, knight takes e4, rook e1, d5, bishop f4, some weird traps. And I want to steer clear of that. I mean, I don't care about the material here, I'm not trying to grab a pawn and I just want to make the best moves. Is e5 a threat? e5, knight takes e5, pawn takes e5. Queen takes d8 check. Bishop takes d8. And then there's the weird bishop a3 at the end, you know, which is like causing serious problems. I feel like I should take it. We'll take it, find out. I mean, if this is a known trap and I lose, I lose. I mean, what can I do? I can't calculate everything. But I don't know about e5. You know, e5 looked kind of funky. If I play bishop e7 and he plays e5, that line looked weird. You know, even though he like trades queens, he has this bishop a3 at the end with this weird pieces coming in there on d6. Okay, now d5 doesn't work at all. He's got all sorts of tactics. Rook takes e4. So I feel like I should just go back. Knight f6. Bishop f4. e5. Is there any other possibility? Not really. I mean, d5, bishop f4. I guess I have to do this. It looks like straight out of the book. Never in my life have I faced this in like hundreds of games in the Mora. Yeah, I guess this is just winning for white, probably. In the end, it would have been better to just play the other way, not take the pawn. It looks like this is very close to lost for black. I'm gonna have to make some kind of serious concession here. But maybe I have some weird moves like knight a5. Knight a5 could disrupt him a bit. Knight a5 with the idea of, I don't have a better idea, honestly, to do this and play bishop d7. But he's got this sick moves. Bishop takes d6. I don't really see another option, though. You know, I can't play d5. No other move is constructive for black in this position. Do I have rook a5? I don't actually think I ever lost on the black side of the... I've never lost on the black side of the Mora on the stream or in a tournament game. But there's always a first. So e5, knight g5 is just flattening, right? I mean, I could play d5 there, maybe. I don't know. But everything's flattening. Alright, everything's flattening. I didn't see a good move. I guess I just fell into a trap here. What can I say? I don't think I ever lost a Mora. I definitely never lost in a tournament game, and I never lost on my stream. I might have lost an offhand game. As far as I can see, rook a5 does anything. Does nothing, you mean? Well, I wanted to play rook takes b5. The variation I was thinking about, Photon Man, was rook a5, bishop takes d6, rook takes b5. But the problem is that he has the intermezzo bishop takes f8. It's actually quite complicated, but bishop takes f8 threatens bishop takes g7. and that's winning for white. You know, that was the point of rook a5, to induce him to make a decision to take on d6 with a knight or take on d6 with a bishop. You know, this is probably winning for white. I mean, the attack looks too strong. So I have to play bishop e7, you know, and I was like hemming and hawing about e5, but it's not even, you know, that scary. So it was kind of a bad move by me in principle, you know. It looks dangerous. It is dangerous. I shouldn't have taken on e4. I should complete my development with bishop e7. I mean, this has probably been played, you know, in some obscure game already. I'm kind of angry with myself for going against principles, you know, which is because I try to play according to principle. And knight takes e4 was very much like a move that violates principles of development. Anyway, guys, we're kind of over time, but Ninja Rook Star subscribed, so we're extending the stream for an extra 15 minutes. When we finish this up, I've got to go. I'll be back on Sunday with Blitz and Classical Chess. Excuse me, Sunday with a simul at 6:30. I'm flustered here. Don't like losing to the to the stupid Smith Mora. But I don't know. I never had a game that went like this exactly. I think I may have handled it differently in the past. Not sure if I played bishop g4 previously. I don't see why I would do that, you know. b5. I don't know. We'll look it up. We'll figure it out. I mean, basically, the Mora is... It's not really a great line for white. It's tricky. But if black knows what they're doing, I think that black equalizes. So knight g5, d5. This was my big idea. For whatever it's worth. Probably not much. We'll see what happens here. I wouldn't want to play against the computer in this position. Look at white's play. Like perfect piece play. Ninja Rook Star. I would assume playing a lot of bullet chess. Only 200 games. A relatively new account. Are you new to lichess? Yeah, Ultra Bullet. He plays Ultra Bullet. The problem with Bullet is that people don't improve their strategic play. They only learn tactics and then they develop bad habits and they never get better. You really have to learn to be more than just a tactical player if you want to get to be like a title player or a GM or something. There's like no way if you just play tactics. Caruana used to be like... Actually, both Hikaru and Caruana were very, very strong tactically, but they had to improve a lot strategically later on. This looks more like art than a chess game. Yeah, it's yeah. I was really terrified of rook takes e5, but maybe I'm just being paranoid. Like seriously, rook takes e5 looks hard to defend against. Maybe there's a way to defend though. I was too lazy to calculate it all. I thought here at least there's a chance for survival. We can just give back material. But I'm curious about rook takes e5 immediately. If it really was strong or not. It feels like white should have something here. All of his pieces are active, except for the rook on a1, obviously. My rook on h8 is not playing. My rook on a8 is in the game, in a sense. Funny position. Yeah, now the question is, should I take the bishop or not? Well, I guess not. The point was to not take it. We could take it later. Everything's protected. We give the material back. That was John Fedorovich's suggestion against the Mora. He just give the material back. You know, you just give the pawn back, and it's like equal. Do not panic. Knight g5. That's g4 to you people who aren't dyslexic. It's a weird game, seriously. Bishop c4. Actually, bishop g4 is possible. Then he's just going to pile up the pressure. I don't really have a good place for my bishop to go. What if I play h6 here? This is apparently all winning according to the engine. All the way for white. Check that out. Every move is like the first move of the computer. That's unbelievable, dude. The whole combination wins by force from move 1. And my rook a5 was actually like the best move. That's insane. This was one of the best moves for black. I talked about this rook a5. That's crazy. Bishop e7. And let him take and play. That's the other possibility. So check this out. This is perfect play by white. I suggested rook takes e5. That's actually really wrong. Playable, but not the best. But I never would have imagined that trading queens leaves white with a winning position here. Rook takes e5. Check this out. Bishop e7. Just bishop takes d5. +3 for white. Now I should castle, and it's still winning for white. It's like all perfect play. But before I was okay. This is an amazing combination. There is no defense. What about bishop c4? That's a mistake. Okay, so now he made a mistake. Bishop c4. I knew there had to be something. Okay, this was the only mistake. Yeah, this wasn't right. You were winning with knight takes f7. Wow. Knight takes f7. Bishop c4 was hesitation, but it was a natural move. You know, most people would want to hold on to the bishop there. Yeah, this is... So here you have to play a take on f7. Knight takes f7. And then, what's the point? Like, if rook takes f7, bishop takes f7, Queen takes f7, queen b3 check, king f8. I mean, White would have to be a computer to see all this. You know, to see that this is just winning by force. I mean, even a top grandmaster isn't necessarily going to see this, you know, with seconds left on their clock. I don't think that Hikaru could even play that. But White did make one mistake here, hesitating with bishop c4. And I almost played knight g4, but I thought, oh, it's too dangerous or something. I like have to play knight g4. It's the only move. Literally the only move. Wow. It's amazing game by White. That's excellent. But objectively, I guess the opening is not that dangerous. So this has never been reached. This position has never been reached before, strangely. b4. Everyone played bishop g4 here. For some reason, I thought that was dangerous. I've probably played that move before, but this is new apparently. b5, best move. Pawn takes pawn, knight takes pawn, and now bishop e7 is safer than knight takes e4. I mean, this was dangerous of me to take this pawn here. Bishop e7. This is what I was talking about though. e5, and there's some strangeness going on here. Knight takes e5, knight takes e5, d takes e5, queen takes queen check, and if bishop takes, I thought bishop a3. The engine says otherwise. Anyway, this would have been better than what happened in the game. You know, so it's probably not really theoretically dangerous for black if I play this way with bishop takes e7. But the other possibility is to do bishop g4. I've actually seen this. I've played this before, bishop g4 instead of e6. I think this is the first time I've played e6 over the board. That's why it was kind of weird to me. I'm surprised that there's no games. Okay, these are master games. There's probably other games in the database amongst players who are not masters. But yeah, bishop e7 would be much more safe. Friday the 13th, the first time I've lost to the Smith-Morra. Yeah, I varied from my previous games. I definitely played this before. That's the other move. Getting the bishop out, it's the normal plan. But this should be fine too. Yeah, I expected the other move, actually bishop f4 is possible too, but this looks like best. Now the computer says d5, which I missed. This is a really cool idea. I didn't see this, to play bishop c5 here. It makes sense. And the king goes to e7. That would have been the more active way to play. Wow, but it's super complicated. Like knight c7 check, king e7. Knight takes f2. God. Queen takes d5. This is like absurd. Knight h3 check. What? Double check. King h1, queen takes d5, and the smoke clears. Knight f2 check. Oh, another check. It's a draw by repetition. What? Why can't you play the king f1 here? It's just bad, apparently. Why can't I play knight takes f4? I should play knight takes f4. The computer just likes making a repetition. Okay, anyway, this would have been interesting. This is probably a safer way to go for me than the way in the game. But anyway, enjoyable game. In hindsight, knight takes b5 was a mistake. Well, if knight takes b5 is a mistake, then you shouldn't play b5 at all. You know, that's what I think. You know, it looks like that's the case, though. Bishop takes b5. It doesn't seem as dangerous, this at all, though. You know, you never would have beaten me if you had played bishop takes b5. I mean, I'm certain of that, you know, in most cases. This is much more dynamic, you know. No, I'm not sure about that. You'd have to like analyze this position with the computer for an hour to be sure about that. You can't take the computer's judgment on like a minute of analysis. You know, I'm not sure objectively. It has to analyze this position very deeply. It's a very tactical position, and I'm not certain, you know, that it will be able to see all the lines. Maybe, but I think the point is that if knight takes b5 doesn't work, then you probably shouldn't play this line, because there's nothing here. But black has to be very careful. That's why Esserman plays it. It's tricky. You know, there's a lot of trappy like tactics and stuff as happened to me in the game. I mean, even in the game, it was hard to believe I was like lost by force here. Perfect. This was even an inaccuracy. It would be better to play rook e8. I can't believe that even works. That's so sick. Rook e8. Knight takes e8. Bishop takes f7 check. Queen takes f7. Rook takes e8. Slightly more aesthetic finish. Anyway, guys, I have to go. I'll be back on Sunday with more classical and sorry, I'll be back on Sunday with a simul at 6:30 p.m. CST. I'm really late. I've got to go, guys. Thanks for subscribing and watching. Thanks to World Loser for being our moderator here, and I will see you guys Sunday and then Monday for Blitz and Classical Chess. Bye.